Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kristi. If you can tell from the sound of my voice, I am not feeling very well. I've been sick for the last couple days. Not COVID, nothing bad. I've just kind of got a cold going through me. So I am making some homemade chicken noodle soup today, and I thought, why not grab my camera and just kind of take you along with me. So today I'm going to be making it in the Instant Pot, but you definitely could make this in the slow cooker or even just a pan on your stove. So I'm actually just throwing this together, so I don't have any points or calories to share with you at the time that I'm filming this. Not sure if I'll end up having some when I put it up. Honestly, when I'm sick, I really don't worry about points and calories. I just worry about getting some healthy things in my body. So that's the goal of this video. But either way, points and calories on this will be very minimal. So starting off, I'm going to use some bone broth. I'm going to use about 4 cups. So I make my own bone broth, and I put them in the super cubes that they sell on Amazon. I freeze them in the super cubes, and then I take them out and put them in a gallon bag. So I'll be using 4 of these. These are each 1 cup portions. And I'm sorry if you can hear the background noise. My husband is out there doing the lawn. So I'm going to be using 4 cups of bone broth, and then over here I also have 4 cups of water that I'm going to be using as well. I'm going to use some chicken breast. This is just boneless, skinless chicken breast, and these are frozen. I'm going to cook them frozen in my Instant Pot. I'm going to use probably 2 to 3 pounds of that. I'm just going to put them in there. On Weight Watchers, my chicken breast is 0. I'm going to use about 6 ounces of these egg noodles. This is a 12-ounce package, so I'll probably just use half of that. For the vegetables, I just have a chopped onion here and then some carrots and celery that I've chopped up, but you can use whatever vegetables you like. And then for spices, I'm going to use some salt, some turmeric, bay leaves, thyme, parsley, oregano, ginger, and some pepper. So I'm probably going to use maybe about a teaspoon of each of the spices. For the bay leaves, I'll probably just throw maybe 1 or 2 bay leaves in there. And then finally, I have some avocado oil. I'm just going to use that to saute the vegetables. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is put my Instant Pot on 4 minutes. So I'm going to saute for 4 minutes. I really need to only saute it for about 3, but I'll take a minute to get everything in there. So I'm adding in about a tablespoon of avocado oil. And then I'm going to add in all the vegetables. And I just thought, I think I'm going to add some garlic to that as well. So I've just minced up some garlic, about 2 cloves of garlic. I'm going to add that to the bottom of the Instant Pot. So now I'm just going to let that saute for about 3 minutes. Okay, so that's been cooking for about 3 minutes. Whoops, I'm fogging up. And the onion is translucent. So now what I've done, in here I have all my spices except for my bay leaf. So I'm just going to sprinkle that in there. And stir it up. And then I'm going to add 2 bay leaves to that. Now what I want to do is add in my chicken broth since it's frozen. That way I can let that start melting. While my broth is melting, I thought I'd show you the super cubes I was talking about. So these are what they are. They're little silicone, they're called super cubes. So they're little silicone things. You can use them to freeze soup or whatever you want to do. But like I said, I make my broth and then I put them in there. And once they're frozen, I pop them out and put them in bags in my freezer so that I can use these for something else. So I'll put a link down below to Amazon if you're interested in these. And also I'll put a link down below to how I make my own bone broth as well. Alright, so let's see how we're doing in here. Just kind of want to melt that broth down. The bone broth has melted, I would say at least halfway. So now I'm adding my chicken and kind of mix that down in there. And then I'm going to add my 4 cups of water. Now I'm going to put my top on it. If you need to put yours to sealing, go ahead and do that now. Mine automatically seals. I'm going to put my Nelson steam diverter on there. That way the steam doesn't go up into my cabinets, it just goes out the side. So now I'm going to put this on pressure cook for about 8 minutes. So now I'm going to let that come up to pressure. It's going to take about 10 minutes to come up to pressure. And then I'm going to let it pressure cook for the 8 minutes on high. And then I'm going to let it naturally release for about 10 minutes and do a quick release for any remaining steam that's left in there. All right, so it's been 14 minutes that it's been naturally releasing, which is perfectly fine. So, oh, there still is a little bit of steam in there. All right, now take the top off. Now what I'm going to do is just carefully pull out the chicken. I know you can't really see. And I'm going to let you know that chicken is so tender that it's actually kind of breaking apart itself. So you can either shred the chicken up or cube it. I like to kind of cube it up, but because the chicken is so tender, it really kind of just shreds and falls apart on its own. So as you can see, it's got kind of a yellowish color. That's from the turmeric. Turmeric is something that I love putting in recipes because it's really good anti-inflammatory and really good for gut health. All right, and then the rest in there is just the vegetables and broth, and look how good that broth looks. So now what I'm going to do is put my pressure cooker back on saute, and I'm going to do 6 minutes. And then I'm going to add about half of the bag of the egg noodles. Then just stir that in there, and now I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to cover it. I'm just going to let it cook on the saute for about 6 minutes while I cut up my chicken. And let me show you. There's really not any cutting to the chicken. I mean, it's just so tender. Usually if I shred my chicken, I shred it in with my electric beaters and just shred it in a bowl. But with Instant Pot chicken, it shreds itself. I mean, all you have to do is just push it and it kind of shreds apart. So now when the noodles are done, just add the chicken back and give it all a good stir. So let me put this in a bowl, show you what it looks like. I normally like to add some fresh parsley to the top, but I don't have any, so I just added a little bit of dried parsley. And then instead of crackers, here I have a piece of sprouted wheat bread. And what I do is just toast the heel piece. Usually everybody in my house skips that heel piece. So I like to use the heel piece for things like croutons or just something to add some crisp. So I stick that heel piece in the toaster and just toast it up. And then I can just toss these into my soup as I'm eating it. All right, so now I'm gonna taste this. Oh, that's so good. So then at this point, you could just add some seasonings if you want. So season it up to the way that you like it. So that is my homemade chicken noodle soup that I am hoping is going to get me feeling much better in the next couple days. I actually sound worse than I feel, to be honest. One thing I forgot to mention, make sure you take your bay leaves out. You don't want to eat those. And one thing to keep in mind, those noodles will soak up some of that broth. So if you prefer, you could use less noodles if you like it more soupy. We really like ours chunky. If you wanted to, you could just add some more broth when you go to eat it, or just a little bit of water, whatever you prefer. So this is what I ended up with. My husband and I had 1 cup already, and then so it made a total of 14 cups. So I set aside a couple cups that we'll have for dinner tonight, and we'll probably just make maybe some grilled cheese sandwich or something on the side. And then I have 4 here that we'll use for meal prep for this week. So we'll have, this is my husband's, he likes to have the oyster crackers with his. So he'll have that for 2 days, and then I'll have it for 2 days. So like I said, I have the bread. I like to use that sprouted bread, so I just stuck some of that in there. And then I'm using my super cube, and I think it's still a little hot right now, but I'm gonna freeze 4 cups. And then that way, if my husband happens to catch this, then next week he can have some soup when he's not feeling very well. So this way it doesn't just sit in my fridge in one bowl. It's already portioned out, ready to go. Also in these ones for the lunches, I have about 1.5 cups in those. These ones are 1 cup, and then the ones in the super cubes is 1 cup. But then in these meal prep containers, I have 1.5 cups in each one. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you in my next one.
It's a journey.